There was a period of his start this afternoon where Bailey Ober looked probably about as good as I've seen him as a Minnesota Twin. He struck out 6 consecutive batters, was just completely dominating. Things did not carry forward to the later innings of his start, perhaps in part due to the fact that he came out for the 4th inning and he was sent back to wash his hands, which was weird because the umpiring crew said they didn't detect anything suspicious. It was just sort of a request they'd had. But, that same thing had happened with the Twins. The guy didn't wash his hands, and he stayed in there. Bailey Ober's got his wash his hands for no... Whatever. He still pitched pretty well, but, of course, with the 2023 Twins, you can't give up 3 runs and expect to win. No, how could you possibly do that? Weird game. More weird stuff. Jorge Polanco should have had a hit here, but this ball caroms off the umpire. There's an out. And, oh, by the way, this is in the 1st inning. Polanco gets injured. So I don't know what's going to go on there if he's got an IL stint coming. On the bright side, Carlos Correa did just hit a mammoth home run. Michael A. Taylor also hit a pretty impressive home run. So the Twins did get some offense going. Still lose 4-2. So can't give him a parade or anything. Did not draw a walk in this game. They had 6 hits, 7 strikeouts. I mean, that's a lot better than they've been doing. That's for sure. So I suppose we could say that's trending in the right direction. We'll see what happens with Jorge Polanco. Keep an eye on that going forward. Moving over to the St. Paul Saints. They played a doubleheader today. From the first game, here's a nice Jose Miranda double. Guy who's been really picking it up as of late. And he also had an opposite field single in this one. You notice in this game the Saints were getting crushed 13-2 at the point of that hit. Matt Wallner also had another infield hit. He had a couple hits in this game. He had 2 infield hits the other night. He's showing off the wheels, Matt Wallner. And Jair Camargo, speaking of things that are happening again, this guy hit a grand slam 2 nights ago, 2 home runs last night, and then this mammoth home run, 486 feet. That might be the longest home run in the minors this year that they've tracked. 486 feet from Jair Camargo. They're down huge, so he's got the head down. You notice there wasn't the Camargo shuffle on his way to third. Was pretty businesslike about hitting that very impressive home run. Over to Double-A, DaShawn Keirsey and Brooks Lee hitting 1-2 in their lineup were just a wrecking crew in this one. Keirsey hits a ground rule double. That one got stuck on the bottom of the wall. That would have been a triple for sure. That guy can fly. But no matter, Brooks Lee drives him in from second anyway with a 2-out double of his own. So those guys really getting it done in the 2nd inning. Also, Keirsey adds a home run. He says, that one got stuck in the wall. I saw shit went over the wall. His 6th home run of the year. Would like to see this guy moving up to St. Paul soon. He's 26 years old and really getting it done at the plate. Good defender, speedy base runner. Brooks Lee with the bases loaded here in the 7th inning. Puts one where they ain't. And also with a heads-up base running, advances to second base on this throw. So Brooks Lee and DaShawn Keirsey Jr. getting it done in a big win for the Wind Surge. But moving on to Cedar Rapids, lots of highlights coming here because Cory Lewis made his debut. Dalton Shuffield, who you see here, also had a monster game. He had a 3-hit game, including this leadoff triple. It's kind of played into a triple a little bit by this left fielder here, but we'll give Tanner Schobel some credit. He's flying around. This guy was a really fun college hitter at Virginia Tech. Got off to a slow start, but he's really turning it on of late. Love seeing that. Pretty high pick. And this was the first 3 batters of this game. So Schobel gets the triple. Emmanuel Rodriguez drives him in on the sac fly. Nice job of him executing there. That's exactly what you want to try to be doing. And then Ben Ross, their 3rd hitter, hits a home run. So in top of the 1st inning, they've got a 2-run lead that they're going to hand Cory Lewis for his very first start at High A. So that's a nice cushion to give a new guy on your roster, maybe feeling a little bit of pressure, a little nervous. So that Ben Ross again with that home run. And Cory Lewis is awesome. This is the guy who throws the knuckleball. There's a couple in this highlight. But he's not like a Tim Wakefield type knuckleballer or a lot of the guys we've seen traditionally in the major leagues. There's one that gets away a bit from Andrew Cossetti, but he makes the play. Nice that Cossetti came up first to Cedar Rapids as a catcher, and then now they're moving some other guys up from Fort Myers who he's caught before, so there's some familiarity. Can't always work it out that way, but Very nice. Anyway, Lewis has pitched great so far this year and was awesome again for Cedar Rapids. We'll take a look at his line in a little bit. We see lots of swings and misses. This guy throws a ton of pitches, keeps hitters off balance. That knuckleball is mostly a 2-strike pitch that he breaks out. It's certainly not any kind of a primary pitch for him. So it really keeps the hitters off balance. He will break it out early in counts. He threw it on first pitch of an at-bat in this game at one point. There's a look at that. Also throws a changeup. I think he also throws a knuckle curve, so it's kind of challenging sometimes to try to figure that out. But anyway, speaking of Andrew Cossetti, that's a really nice play that he makes on a fly ball, or on a pop-up, behind the plate, getting that out for his pitcher. And then here he is up at the plate. He'd actually been slumping. This is a guy who was just crushing the Florida State League. Got off to a nice start when he got called up. Was in a bit of a slump, but maybe he gets out of it with this home run here. So big 2-run home run from Andrew Cossetti. And then back to Tanner Schobel. Not a very physically imposing guy, but this guy hit for a ton of power in college. And look at the lightning hands on this one. And crushed. This got way out of there. So this is not a huge guy, but he has tons of power. Very powerful swing. Tanner Schobel, a top 70 pick in this past year's draft. A fun guy. They're moving him all over the place. He's playing a lot of second and third. Could see him playing kind of all over the diamond eventually. I believe he was a shortstop in college. But here are the notable hitting performances. Some nice offensive outbursts tonight, especially for the wind surge. DaShawn Keirsey Jr. See there, we saw some of his highlights. He had a 3-hit night. Should mention that Alberto Celestino on his rehab assignment for the Mighty Muscles played center field, and he had a single that had a 108.1 mile-per-hour exit velocity. Not a lot going on the pitching side, but there you see Cory Lewis in that debut. 5 shutout innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts on 80 pitches. So a very nice way for him to make his Kernels debut. Here are the results. Wind Surge win big, Kernels win big, but a little bit of a struggle. That second game in the Saints was in progress still at the time I was recording this. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. Thanks to all the members for your support. Here are the premium members. We'll talk again soon.